Hi, gorgeous. Welcome back to the Source Embodiment Podcast. My name is Sheila, and thank you so much for being here as always. I was a little scared that this wasn't going to work because I threw the little tiny piece in my pocket and then I put all my clothes to wash. And then I also put it in the dryer, but thankfully it works. So I hope you're doing so well. I just made a Instagram reel about this. As you know, as always, these podcast episodes are channeled, always just intuitively felt with higher self, God, source, and just seeing what energy needs to come out today. So what I was getting today was specifically like choosing yourself. And now that I made this reel about it, I feel even more inspired to talk about more energetic pieces of this. And that's why we have the podcast, so I can actually give you the intuitive information, the source information connected to source, to God, to higher self, and obviously always in the highest alignment, in the purest alignment of God and of source. So I'm very excited to get into today's things. But essentially, this energy of choosing yourself. So I have spent years and years and years of my entire life choosing other people. And then, like, I would get so much built up resentment whenever I didn't feel like people were choosing me. As you know, like if you've listened to my podcast episode prior about the past 10 years of my spiritual journey, I used to self-harm, I was suicidal, had a horrible relationship with my mom, a whole fucking situation, whole situation. And throughout the years, a lot of resentment was built to my mom because I was always there for her, but then it didn't feel like that was mutual, or to the people around me because I was always doing the most for other people. Same thing with like giving free intuitive reads to my friends, but then they were never there for me. Or like, spending years and years and years in a relationship where I was like over giving every single aspect of myself and then being called selfish at the end of the day from that person too, which was so triggering. But even in those reflections, really what it was is that it wasn't that I was like actually selfish. It's that I wasn't being selfish and I was feeling resentment for that. Because anytime someone, and this is a little tidbit for you, anytime someone says something to you and it triggers you, like it genuinely triggers you, it's because a part of you believes that it's true and a part of it is true, but just in a different area of life. So it doesn't have to be exactly like, for example, my example with my ex, him calling me selfish. Although I was like overgiving everything, every single part of myself to him to sustain that relationship for 8 years. But then turn around and like I'm looking at all the other areas of my life where I'm not being selfish, where I'm just overgiving everywhere. And I got upset and triggered because it is true. Like, I'm not upset at the fact that he called me selfish. It's the fact that I'm not being selfish that got triggered or triggered that inside of me. Now, when anyone says something to you and it triggers you, like I said, it means that a part of it is actually true. It means that a part of it is genuinely like in some shape or form in one or more areas of your life, it is actually the truth of, you're not doing this thing or you are being this way to yourself. Usually what they're saying isn't even directly about you because what they're saying is about themselves, which my ex, love him, was selfish. Um, but just the fact that I also got triggered means that there's like a reflection in there for me too, right? And all of these are learning lessons. So tying this back into choosing yourself, when you spend years and years and years choosing other people, like I have done, so myself, you're literally building so much energy inside of yourself of resentment, of, oppression, or feeling like repressed inside. And then you feel undervalued and you feel unappreciated and you feel like people aren't genuinely taking you serious. They're not seeing how special you are. And the truth is, obviously, all of that is a bunch of bullshit lies because innately, as you are so fucking special. Innately, as you are literally connected to source. You're an extension of God. You're an extension of source in every single cell of your being. So you are innately special. You are innately worthy. You are innately appreciated just because you are literally walking, breathing extension of source and of God. And that's what makes you so fucking special. But does our human believe that? Does our very physical self, like our brains, our subconscious mind, years and years and years of programming, years and years and years of dark forces infiltrating media and, music and movies and societal beliefs, like it's very hard to not get programmed by those things. But once you have the awareness of how all of those things are existing and they are distorting you, that's when you can pull back and start to realign your energy and readjust your energy. So when we talk about choosing yourself, it's literally you choosing yourself in every single aspect, in the sense that you are, pulling in yourself or pulling into yourself to see yourself fully, pulling into yourself to confront yourself, pulling into yourself to be there for yourself, to nurture yourself. Literally wake up every single morning and think about the things that you have in alignment for yourself, and how would the most source aligned, the most source diva version of you would show up and hold yourself in accountability and love and with respect and honor to God, to your higher self, and to the most fulfilled version of yourself. And a lot of the times, like, you really have to zoom out. And this is why we love using intuition, because sometimes you would think doing like, and this is what I've recently also had to learn too. Sometimes you would think helping someone is going to, like, you're doing it out of the kindness of your heart because you love them. But then if you zoom out, neutral lens, using intuition, you see how it's a massive disservice to yourself and that other person because you're pushing them back. There's times, and I've also made a reel about this too. If you haven't seen it, go follow me on Instagram because we have a lot of mini trainings on there as well, where I'm talking about how, like, sometimes you literally saying something just because you're trying to help someone will put you at a massive disservice. Like, that is you not choosing yourself, one, and then also two, putting someone else in a massive disservice because you think on a very surface level physical realm that you're helping them, but in reality it's actually pushing them back. It's actually pulling them into old timelines. It's slowing down their potentials because they're not having to go through the soul growth of figuring it out themselves. And I've even done this, like, I've done this so many fucking times now. And, obviously it triggers the fuck out of people because there's been times where I've spent, once again, years and years and years choosing other people versus choosing myself. And now I'm at a point where I'm like, I literally will tell people, my friends, like close inner circle that I have given all of my life to in terms of investing and giving energy to them, which obviously I needed that. Like, there's no resentment there because I definitely, I 100% needed that. And obviously I love the people in my life. So I want to give to them. I want to expand and, like, help them grow in their own soul potential too. But now, like, when I think back into it, I literally tell them to circle back. Like, circle back to all the conversations we've had, circle back to all the things that I've said to you, circle back to the countless times I gave you free intuitive reads, circle back to the time that we were talking in my bedroom at 4 a.m. and I channeled that really good information for you. Like, circle back to all those times, because I know now that intuitively, when I Hawkeye view the situation, one, if I continue to like word vomit all the things and give them all the energy, I'm not choosing myself. I'm choosing them. And there's nothing wrong with choosing someone else, but it has to come with a balance, right? Because actually, when you actually look into the fucking situation, and this is so mind blowing to me too, when you wrap your head around it, and, like, this is part of, like, the source diva things too, because, like, you, like, it's almost like being ice cold, but, like, really fucking loving, like, so loving, like, so affectionate and so sweet. Because when you look at the situation, for example, like me not giving my friends or inner circle intuitive advice or information anymore, or channeled information or, like, healing for them for free, when I Hawkeye view the situation and I connected to source and I connected to God and I connected to my higher self and their higher self, I'm seeing how me refraining from giving them one little thing or giving them one little bit of intuitive advice causes a domino effect and a ripple effect into their life, where their life gets so much fucking better because I didn't say that one thing, because I didn't, choose them in the sense of helping them right in that moment. And I decided to do the long term growth for them. Like, I decided to just sit back and listen. You can ask questions, and that's, like, part of choosing yourself too, because you are learning how to communicate better and just holding space for someone, but still knowing that by you not over giving parts of yourself and not choosing them and instead choosing you, you are playing the long game. You're playing the long game of soul growth. And that's the thing about, like, this whole situation with choosing yourself, because when you look at it in very tiny micro moments, it might feel like you're just being mean. Like it might feel like you're being selfish. It might mean, or it might look on the surface level that you are constantly just choosing yourself and you're a selfish fucking bitch. Like that's what it can look like on the external. But then when you Hawkeye view the entire situation, you see that down the line, this is causing the most biggest shift for them, the highest potential of a timeline come through for them. Having them, or like literally allows them the opportunity to question themselves, go within, look within, and choose themselves because they're having to figure it out the hard way. And not even the hard way, it's really just like the long route, but also too, we want longevity. We want longevity for the people around us and for ourselves. That is the actual source aligned way. The very surface level way of choosing yourself, which is not really choosing yourself, is over giving and giving all the time. And then like feeling resentment and like feeling, underappreciated and not valued. And because you have that in your energy field subconsciously, people will literally do that to you. Like that's exactly what happened to me. I spent years and years and years giving my friends intuitive reads, healings. I'm like, oh, don't worry about it, babe. I got you. And then a few weeks down the line, when I'm having all of these horrible reflections, I'm like crying, throwing up, feeling awful about myself. Crickets. Crickets. And then I start feeling, undervalued, and I feel underappreciated because I don't feel like I have the support that I wanted from those people that I gave so much to. We don't want to do that. Obviously, we don't want to do that. We want to see how we can hold ourselves, choose ourselves in a source aligned way with the longevity of the long term effects that can come from it. And that is the source aligned way. That is the way that your higher self actually wants you to be. That is the fucking way that God, source, the extension of God and source, wants you to be. Because even if you think about this parent energy of God and of source, I literally like, I get chills. I get chills tapping into the energy of God. Oh my God. Even when you like think about the energy of God and of source, God obviously supporting you all the time, source supporting you all the time, always holding the fort down for you, but you're the one that's doing the things. You're the one that's holding it. And even then, source is letting you live your life in free will, letting you use your own discernment, use your own intuition, letting you make your own fucking mistakes, and letting you figure it out on your own. And that is literally the source aligned way. So it's you embodying that energy. Because, like it might at, surface level, it might look like you're being selfish. You're not being selfish. You're choosing yourself in a source aligned way, choosing yourself in a way that actually sits right with you, because that is the godly embodiment of you, the extension of source of you coming through, and the longevity of what can come from that. I think I'm going to leave it there. I hope you beautiful souls enjoyed this podcast episode, and I will talk to you soon. Also, too, we have Source Diva Bootcamp in the making, baby girl. So excited, so excited. Make sure you follow me on Instagram. I will keep you posted with updates there. And yeah, I think that's it. All right. I love you. Besitos. Bye.